stock market and see how the equity markets wrap up for the week. So welcome back. Let's go to the equity market for the analysis for the weekend.
Hello, Edward. Well, for today, the composite index went down by 35.23 points, which is rather unfortunate compared to the gains recorded yesterday. And the year-to-date change went down by 1.89%. We were almost around getting to 50%, 49 point some points, and we are now at 47.52%. The financial stocks were 0 points, as no equity from the financial sector recorded any price change. For volume today, we had 237,102, and they were valued at 103,938.24. The market capitalization went down by some 339,000 cedis. And as I said, the composite index is around 2,864 compared to 2,899 recorded yesterday. The market cap has also gone down, as I said earlier. For the stocks that registered price change, it was MTN Ghana, and that is the equity that has driven the indices down due to its volume on the Accra Bourse. It went down by 0.03 pesos, and that is what has caused the year-to-date change and the market cap all going down for today. All right.
Thank you, Esther, for that analysis. We're going straight to talk to Dr. Joseph Obin, the president of GUTA, who is here with me in the studio. So let's move and do the discussion with him. Doc, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Great to have you.
Thank you.
Great. Wonderful. You were talking about Traders Bank. Where in the world do we have Traders Bank and you want to humiliate them?
Yeah, thank you very much for this particular question, because people have been asking me, maybe they want to have a reference in other banks and all that. But to tell the truth, we have Traders Bank in Toronto, Canada. Then we have Farmers and Traders Bank in Kentucky, USA. Then we have Traders Bank also in India. So wow, this is not going to be the first, and surely it's not going to be the last. And I will also let you know the other ones. And let me also tell you, there are other mainstream banks that are also structured in a way to suit the trading activities. And that one do not even go by the name Traders Bank. But what we are going to do is to make sure that we tailor-make our services to suit the trading community.
Wow. Great. You've been talking about this for ages now. So how soon are we expecting this Traders Bank?
Yeah, we sent the proposal to our sector minister, because this thing, the way we are doing it is going to help the entire nation, and so we have to do it with the cooperation of our sector ministry, where we've been giving consultants to do all these things. So the proposal went 2018, and now we've come very far, and very soon we are going to put it to finality.
So finality, are we talking about a year after or 6 months?
No, we'll give it somewhere around a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Now, what exactly is going to be the goal of this bank?
Yeah, because we know our problems. The banks cannot pretend to know the operations of the trader. So they don't have the insight. If they know, they would have tailor-made what suits us.
But you said earlier that some of the banks have products
in the world.
Or not in Ghana.
You asked me, even in Ghana, some of them might even attempt. But we know our problem more. We know how we do our business, and we understand it better than they do. And then coupled with the extortive interest rate that is being handed over to us, because the explanation that they give for this extortive interest rate cannot be taken by us.
Is that, you know, you use strong word, extortive.
Yeah, it's extortive because how they spread the risk is unfair, because they say that people have defaulted and that they have to share the defaulting companies with those who did not default.
But I'm sure
that is not fair, because if you look at insurance,
if your company go to any bank, if you go to any bank to do business, they look at when they look at the profile of your company, they won't give you a loan that will be given to maybe SME, Kwame Mensah company. So you might not be giving, you'll be giving a loan that will be cheaper than that one.
But normally the interest rates are generalized, and even you can even close your eyes and say that this is the interest rate for this bank, or even in generality all the banks, and they hover around, like now I'm talking, they hover around 22%, and sometimes even 25%. And this is what is on the finger. But if the policy rate is somewhere 13.5, then of course, but now we should be seeing something like 18% for interest rate, commercial lending. But if it is still here, it means that they are taking due advantage, and the excuse that they use for this, the spread of the risk, is unfair, because sometimes they put up their operational costs, they put up the corruption, because some banks, some people defaulted not out of their own will, but in a corruption manner with the bankers themselves. Like the banks that were talking that they handed to themselves loans and all that, and that they didn't pay. It wasn't given to traders. Those big amounts of money were given to their cronies, and then they didn't pay. So you do not put all those, and I put that those corruption loans to about 40%, and then you lump them all together, including your inefficiencies, and then the lack of your due diligences. So if you say that we will be able to reduce our lending rate, it means that this corrupt practices is going to be minimized. But that we are going to also...
It's a fact that members of your community, traders, go to the bank, they borrow, they don't pay.
Some of them do that. It's true. And it's true.
So the bankers
some do it now. But you should know, the bank have the structures to do the necessary due diligences. You can't tell me with all the structures, they have their risk teams, they have their legal teams and all that, they have these professionals that they've engaged. And then they always say that they give bad loans.
All right, so
that it cannot be taken. And then you put these bad loans that you have just given on silver platter to people, and then mingle it with the good loans, and then price the risk together. Is unfair.
So how different is the traders bank going to operate? Because we are dealing with the same trading community, that some will go to the bank and default. How are you going to operate differently?
Yeah, because now if you look at the addressing system and all that, the banks used to put that as the issue. Now that thing has been solved. That address system is not a problem now. And so what again do they have? Then apart from using your own structures of your risk department and all that to make the necessary due diligences, and then also putting away corrupt tendencies of the bank itself by giving out loans to unknown people, to ghost people, and to even themselves, their companies, for them not to pay, and then pass on the price of the risk and share it among us.
So if your bank comes into operation, how is it going to operate differently and make sure that your investment that is made, the investors or the shareholders get good returns on their investment?
Yeah, we understand banking. And don't forget that we even started the informal banking. the SUSU form of banking. SUSU simply means that we put our resources together, give it to one person, and that's all banking is. And so we understand the nitty-gritties of banking. And so we are going to formalize this SUSU thing into mainstream banking, that we formalize it so that the runaways of people's money through the SUSU and all that will be the thing of the past. Structure it well. Then also with the issues of collateral and all that, it's not going to be just pinpointed to infrastructure like building and all that. We can even use our stock levels as collateral and all that. We are so many things that we can use.
But let me find out, Dr. Binam,
because let me tell you,
how are you going to, in terms of financing the bank or setting up the bank, the funds, where is it come from?
Yeah, who have been financing these banks? You are just talking about the stocks here. Who have been financing? Even we are able to finance the multinationals like MTN, but when they float their shares, we buy it. AGC, most of our people bought Ashanti Gold, the bond that they issued. Who bought it? We bought it. Let me tell you, the greatest stock players, the stock exchange players, are all traders. Odro Minta, Honorable Odro Minta, is from Abu Sokai.
Wow.
Whitechapel. You know their strength in these things, and they bought into banks, and so we have resourceful people, and even individuals have been opening banks. How much more a great multitude of
there's
traders.
that perception that the Ghanaian businessmen don't want to join forces to set up do joint ventureship or partnership. How are we going to address that in setting up this Ghana Traders Bank?
No, the Traders Bank is just a concept. That this is what we are going to do. We are going to tailor-made our product, the bank's product, to suit the traders. But it's not necessarily that the traders are going to operate the bank.
No, I know.
Otherwise, how do we do? Because we are setting the bank, and it's going to be a universal bank, and it's going to be a bank that people are going to own and then operate professionally. And when we say traders, we do not limit it to the
trading community alone.
Trading community, because if a farmer sells his produce, he's also trading his farm produce. If a manufacturer produces, and he has to sell it, and he's selling his manufactured produce, and they are all involved. So basically, it's going to be a universal bank that will incorporate mostly the private sector, where we are going to, because we know our operations, we know how and understand how our business reacts to things and all that. We are going to tailor-made product to suit that. And that's all that we're talking about, the Traders Bank.
Now, there is that fear out there by some that, look here, if your group is able to come up with this bank and is going to facilitate trading, it might affect industrialization agenda that Ghana seeks to pursue, because you'll be doing importation and importation.
Not that at all. On the contrary, we saw, traders, our natural progression. Our natural progression normally should be that you are from tabletop, then you go to a shop. From a shop, you start importation. Then you know the volume of goods that you trade in. And then you set up a factory. About 80% of the industries that are set in Ghana are from traders. Let me tell you, the MS chemists who are making huge manufacturing, were they not selling? They started selling. Tobinco, they all started small chemist shops and all that, and they are doing, because they now understand, they trade to understand, and they appreciate what they are doing. Then they metamorphose into manufacturing, and that's the natural progression. But because of lack of funds, because we do not have the capacity to even access affordable credits, that's why we get stuck in the trading. So on the contrary, we are going to catapult industrialization in this country through this, because we have one of our products, that is the tripod scheme. The tripod scheme simply means that we are going to enhance on made in Ghana goods. So by tripod scheme, we are going to give some of these resources to manufacturers, so that if somebody is buying made in Ghana goods, they bring their purchase order to the bank. The bank then offload the money to the manufacturer, then the buyer take his time to pay the bank. That's the tripod scheme that we're talking about. We also have in this same bank the income in, income out policy that we want to initiative that traders are doing. That normally trading is two-way. It's not just one way that we import, and that we want to export to our import destinations. We export goods to our import destinations, so we use the proceeds thereof to buy the goods and bring it back. And then it will help the economy. Every indication, this is going to be one of the most positive bank that will ever be established, because it's going to be pro business and then help industrialize the country.
But it looks as if you're going to do a dual thing, because we have EDIF, which metamorphosed into Exim Bank. But the Exim Bank, why can't your group also reach out to Exim Bank to support you in your business?
Yeah, because that's why we've come out with this bank, and then the structures that we want to depict to government. And so, like these things that I'm talking, you will inform the government that, look, these people have been paying the EDIT fund or the Exim Bank, Exim funds. We are paying. It's the traders who are paying. It's not anybody. We import our goods, and they take some funds from it and they finance the EDIT or the Exim. And so it's about time that we also have our fair share in that, so that we use it to industrialize ourselves, so that we can migrate from traders to captains of industry. This is all that we seek. But we should also have some finances that is geared towards enhancement of trading in general. And in this case, trading does not mean only importation. That's why we are talking that we are going to use this fund to patronize made in Ghana goods, so that industrialization or manufacturing will be enhanced. And that we are also talking, we use some of these funds to export, so that Ghana, the forest should also be enhanced, and then we wouldn't have the excessive challenge of the forest. So there's nothing negative about the traders, unless you limit your scope to only the buy and sell or importation. But this was very broad in scope.
This broad in scope. Looking at some of the countries you mentioned, have you done any study about how far they've come? Like you talked about India, how they've been able to manage these, the kind of product you're talking about, they roll out to the traders there?
Yeah, India and the rest of the world have come with the Exim Bank arrangement that captures the trading and manufacturing all together. We do not have such a thing here. Now we have the Exim that is trying to boost in the manufacturing and all that. If we can broaden the scope to include us, because they should not see us even as a threat to industrialization, but they should know that this is the Qatar, this is the beginning of industrialization. Because let me tell you, manufacturing is never complete unless it reaches up to the final consumer. And we are the vehicle that serves that purpose. So manufacturing without trading is nothing. So how can we, in manufacturing, be vibrant when trading is dead? No. It's a trading that enhances on manufacturing. And so it's tied up to that. They are intertwined. So you cannot say that you want a boom in industrialization without making a conscious effort to enhance or promote trading. It never happens.
Now, so you talk about perhaps within the space of 1 year that we're likely to see the Traders Bank in operation. Now, what are some of the things you want to do in terms of the financing? I asked you earlier. Are you going to do float some shares on the stock exchange, or are you going to start afresh, making sure you get that funds from you among your peers?
Yeah, they are all part of it, our subscriptions and all that, seeking to share this
to float
the shares like every bank do. And we, like I've told you, we understand these things. We patronize the stock exchange, and we know how profitable it is. and then we know how to go into this if you can see that it's profitable. And everybody will know that Traders Bank will be profitable because our masses are so huge. And we put the bulk of the deposits in these mainstream banks.
Then you're going to collapse some banks now?
Oh, no, that's not the intention, not at all. We are going to sell a product. And so if the product will ensure competition, so that even people can imitate our product, we don't have any problem because the country should survive. All that we are doing is going to push all of us along one path of progress. And so it's not a competition, something for somebody to be. We bring a product. Normally, one bank can bring a product and others will copy. But if it is positive for us, what thing that we do, and then all the trading community start buying that product, and you also want to copy, and so be it. And then it brings out the growth that we expect.
You are going to this business to make profit to some extent, to make sure that your bank stays in business.
Yeah.
How certain are you, now that we have 13.5%, we are talking about average lending around 22%, how certain are you that if you come below maybe 15 or 30, you're not going to collapse, or shortchange yourself and collapse your business?
No, it's simple mathematics. You see, the banks, the so-called bad loans, when they are declaring their profit, they take all that bad loans from it. And you see the huge profit that they get. So it's about working on these bad loans, the due diligences, trying to do away with corruption. Because most of these bad loans are given on silver platter by officials in the bank themselves, as manifested in the previous probe and all that they were doing. And then I'm not also saying that some people are not also defaulting. But if you put it on scale, the fact that they have a risk team, they have the legal team, and they have the professionals who do the necessary due diligences, then they cannot always say that we are continuing giving bad loans. It is just a mere excuse. And sometimes they put this risk, they put together the negligence of duty, lack of due diligences, the corruption at the bank itself.
But there's not been any evidence that there's corruption at the
look
bank.
at what happened during the bank crisis.
Okay.
That some banks have been given huge sums of money from Bank of Ghana, and they shared among their cronies. Is it not corruption? This is what we're talking about.
Good.
If you know that somebody do not qualify to be given a loan and give to him, then you do not come back and say, because that's why you have to do the necessary due diligence.
Fantastic.
Your negligence
should be passed on to you. All right. So let's hope and pray. So we've been talking about the Traders Bank, why we need a Traders Bank, and Dr. Joseph Obin, President of Guta, has been sharing or throwing light about this bank that is here to come on stream. My name is Edward. This is how we draw the curtain for this week. Or will we meet next week? Shalom.